Hey guys, how's it going? Today, I want to talk to you about something different, about a place I used to live. A magical and mystical place that you are going to love hearing about, and you will fantasize about having the chance to live there. In this magical and mystical place, there were many magical and mystical things. One of them was the magical and mystical box. We'll call that MMB for short. The way the MMBs worked is they had switches on them. Flip the switches in the right way, and it could do all kinds of neat things. Most switch combinations, not so great. But when you could put the right switch combo in, you were in business. My friends and I love to share our knowledge with each other about what kind of switch combos we would do magical things and satisfy us. So a friend of mine came over one day and said, hey Mac, got a combo for you. Put this into your MMB and you will get some awesome magic going on. On, off, on, off, off, on, off, on, off. Just punch that in, it'll rock. And so I punched that in, and he was absolutely right. I won't go into all the details because it excited things that we don't normally talk about in polite society. But what's even better, every year the MMBs improved. They had more switches on them and correspondingly more capabilities. It got way too complicated for one person to put in all the switches. We had magical processes that in turn automated them and then made it easier for us to go to somebody and say, got a combo for you? We just shared everybody we know. And once these MMBs passed a certain threshold, they could simulate all the experiences you could possibly want to enjoy on Earth or anywhere else. Put in the right combo, and you could be a warrior in the middle of the jungle, having all the exciting experiences that come from it. You could be watching magical, mystical play with the most amazing effects. You wouldn't necessarily be watching it, but the magical box would give you the exact same mental experience as watching that play. As it progressed, though, we ran into a little trouble. I often had my machine put in the switches for a combo that gave me the experience of really awesome play. But then guess what? The original guy that wrote the play and the actors that were in the play, they didn't like that I got the experience directly from this machine instead of watching their plays anymore. So they sued me under the magical mystical laws. Well, they're normal laws, but for a magical mystical land, it's magical mystical laws. And so the court said to me, Mac, you can't have this switch combo. I was shocked. How can I not have the right to this switch combo? It's ridiculous. We all do our switch thing. But I didn't really understand the law enough. So I said, okay, I'll grant you that. I won't use this switch combo. Problem solved. But I went on, found another switch combo that accomplished basically the same thing, and I just did that. But here's the kicker. The court came back of the magical mystical land, right? And said, no, Mac, you can't do that either. You cannot do any switch combo that's anything like this play insofar as it can recreate the mental experience. Unbelievable. How can there be laws like this? It's a bunch of freaking switches on a magic box. It's something I do with my own stuff. I feed it straight into my mind. I get the same experience. What's the problem? Actually, I lied to you. There is no magical, mystical land. Shocking. But the story is true. Every time I mentioned a magic box, I was actually talking about a computer. Every time I mentioned a switch combo, I was talking about a data file, software, videos, music that you would play on your computer. When I talked about automated distribution processes, I was talking about P2P networks and torrenting and that kind of thing, which I'm sure you all already understand if you're watching this video. But if in this hypothetical you couldn't justify the magical, mystical laws against those switch combos, then you don't believe in intellectual property laws, which are the laws that do that same thing in this world. And that is what I wanted to talk about today. I'm sure YouTube has a lot of restrictions on advocating illegal activity. I'm not going to do that. What I am going to state is the moral justifiability of intellectual property laws. And I think the story I just told to you makes the point very well. If you can't justify prohibiting a certain switch combo on people's own magic box that they feed into their own brain, how can you justify intellectual property laws? You can't. Let's step back a minute. Information is, at root, just a bunch of ones and zeros. Do I not have the right to order the ones and zeros on my computer however I want? I own my computer, while information just floats around. When informed of it, I order the ones and zeros differently. What moral crime have I committed? I'm not talking about phony paper crimes. I'm talking about moral crimes. What